Good day once again. My name remains OLUWATOBI, ADEBIYI, your host on Emotional School. For some time now, we've been talking about shadow hunter. Probably today we'll conclude on the topic shadow hunt. And the last series, we talked about don't move around with your luggage. Don't move around with your luggage. And today we'll be talking about how to send your shadow hunter packing. No matter how deep your life is, no matter how deep your secret is, you can still be free. That is our assurance. You can still be free because your shadow hunters, what they want you to do is to continue to enter the deepest part of life. And this deepest part of life is what I call the dark room. If you know our conventional, the old conventional photography, how you take the film, the still picture, those Kodak of those days. Now when the picture is being taken, they have to take the film to a dark room so that they could bring out the true image of what they snap. Now the truth is this: when you go through the process of going into the dark room, what happened? That dark room is a place of loneliness where you have nobody to talk to, despite you have people around you. Dark room is a place where you have multitude of people around you, but you are sent you into the shell of loneliness, and that leads to addiction in life, because you want to solve your problem without getting to the root of the problem. Now you want to take a lot of things to stop yourself from the issue that you're facing. And when you get into addiction is that thing you do over and over that you don't have a control over them. And when you don't have a control over things you do, they become an addiction in your life. And when you get into addiction, you want to drink too much, you want to do so many things you don't do before. You just want to make yourself happy, which doesn't solve the problem or doesn't take away the problem we are talking about. The shadow hunters always want you to be in the dark room often. And the deeper your secret, the deeper your addiction in life. The deeper your secret, the deeper your addiction. Because when you have so much secret to keep and you cannot expose those secrets to light, because the secrets don't want light. And when you cannot expose them to light, you want to use something to suppress those things in your life so that you can be free temporarily. And as long as you're trying to solve a temporary problem, you will end up becoming a victim of addiction. When you become a victim of addiction in life, what happens? It deprives you of your identity. You lose your identity completely. And when you lose your identity completely, then something begins to happen in your life. That traumatic experience begin to happen in your life because you don't know who you are again. That's why people call you by your name and you respond. I'm not talking about your name. I'm talking about your real self that makes up the name you carry. I'm talking not just about the name they call you. I'm talking about the person that responds to the name. When those trauma begin to happen, you lose your identity. You lose your value for life. Some things, symptoms begin to come out that you begin to see in your life. Anger, emotional disorder, gradually, loss of memory, all that begins to pop out. Abuse begins to pop out. Depression begins to pop out. Loss of appetite begin to pop out. Nightmares begin to come out. You don't pray that night comes. You always want the day to come. You cannot sleep. You begin to enter into drinking and drug disorder begin to come in. You cannot control them. You always want to avoid crowd at the maximum. You always want to avoid. You don't want people around you. You always want to avoid talking about this event often. When this time to talk about, and the truth is this: the more you talk about the event, the more this event begins to leave you gradually, because you use your event to teach. You use your event as example for people, and you are getting healed. And one of the symptoms you will see is you also lose interest in those things you like. Gradually, you just begin to lose interest. You don't want to things you love doing. You just don't like doing them again. Why? Because you are being trapped in the dark room. Your shadow hunters always want to put you in the dark room. Now, how do you get out of this, and how do you send your shadow hunter packing? Because you need to send them out of your life. You don't need to be there. That is not their home. He said, with fear and trembling, they will run out of their hidden place. They are strangers. You just need to send them out. They don't belong in your life. They are shadow hunters. They don't like light. Don't keep secret. Look for somebody trustworthy, somebody that will not blame you, somebody that will not castigate you, somebody that you can go through this phase together. You don't walk alone in this season when you have this kind of issues in life. You don't walk alone. You need to use the 4-dimensional light, and that is what I call tell yourself the truth. This event has happened. 2, face reality about the event. 1, tell yourself the truth. 2, face the reality of the event. 3, rewrite your story. 4, keep walking, don't stay. Isolation is a devil in disguise. Isolation is what the shadow hunters wants to use in your life. Don't wait. In life, your natural shadow don't like light. The more light that comes into a place, before you know it, the shadow disappear or vanish. Now, if you put all these things in place, you don't keep your secret, you want to expose the secret, you don't want to stay alone, you want to keep walking up in life, you face the reality that these things has happened in your life, and you keep walking. Before you know it, the shadows are below your feet, and you begin to walk over those shadows, and those shadows no longer exist in your life again. Why? Because you have control over your emotion, not your shadow controlling you, not the past event controlling you. You have the capacity to control the event in your life. Thank you once again for being part of this section. We want to say thank you for watching us. We meet once again in our next episode. Bye for now. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us from Instagram, you're watching us from Facebook, you're watching us from TikTok, you're watching us from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Hope to see you in the next episode.